We've mentioned plantar fasciitis on the podcast quite a bit now. And in our Discord group, a lot of people that have been starting to wear Vivos or moving more, they have been talking about getting plantar fasciitis. It seems to be something that a lot of people start to get. So what exactly is going on with it? And can it be just easily fixed?
So 2 common causes. First has to do a little bit with the foot type, right? Because every single condition that walks into my room or that we talk about, we have to just factor in foot type, okay? And then the second is understanding impact is vibration. So I actually consider plantar fasciitis as a vibration injury, okay? So every time we walk, we run, I don't care if you're on your midfoot, your heel, doesn't matter how you're running, right? But you're striking the ground, you're experiencing these vibrations. Now, if bone vibrates, you get shin splints and you get stress fractures.
Yeah, okay? I got a few stress fractures.
If tissue vibrates, you get plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, you can get IT band issues, you can get calcaneal periosteitis. So you get these soft tissue injuries. Now, the way that you damp or absorb vibration as the foot is pounding the pavement is you have to stiffen your muscles. And the way that you stiffen your muscles is through isometric contractions. So short foot, I'm sure you guys have heard of short foot, which is pushing the toes down into the floor. When you push your toes down, the intrinsics of the foot contract, they stiffen. They actually increase what's called compartment pressure. I don't want to make that confusing, but all of your muscles have to have a certain pressure around them, kind of like a splint. So as the foot strikes, it is sufficiently stiff that the tissue and the bone cannot vibrate. You actually just absorb the vibration as potential energy for you to be this recoiling badass that you want to be, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at, just as a small aside, like sprinters, what makes sprinters fast, when you look at kind of the neuromuscular aspect of it, is it's based off of how quickly they can get off of the ground. And there's a direct correlation to contact time and foot and ankle stiffness. Foot and ankle stiffness is a myofascial response that is fed through isometric contractions. And this is really what I teach, and it's part of my whole foot to core thing, is you have to be able to very rapidly, anticipatorily, which means before your foot even strikes the ground, contract and stiffen the foot and the lower leg complex so that the vibration is essentially potentiated. And that's really what it is with running. And I'm totally going on a side tangent, so I apologize.
It's okay.
But with running, when you think about heel strike, midfoot strike, forefoot strike, the biggest difference between a heel strike, midfoot, forefoot is contact time. Right? So of the 3, the one that can get off of the ground the fastest, shortest contact time, just based off of myofascial physics, is a forefoot strike, which is what sprinters do, right? If a sprinter was doing a heel strike pattern, there's no way that they could run fast, right? You can't, okay? So understanding that contact time, how quickly can you stiffen, things like that. I had a mom of a high school athlete messaged me, and she's like, my son is so good. He loves running. He's a sprinter, and he's like first out of the blocks. And then and then all of a sudden everyone passes him, and he just can't win that 200-meter dash is what he was doing. And I was like, send me a video. I don't know. And so she sends it to me, and he's like, he's first out, first 100 meters. He's awesome. Last 100 meters, he's losing steam.
Yeah.
I really zone into the way that he's contacting the ground. He was doing a heel strike.
Pat Roger family, how's it going? We talk about sleep all the time on this podcast. That's why we partnered with 8 Sleep mattresses. Now, this mattress is the Tesla of sleep. It's the Tesla of beds. Its technology tracks your heart rate variability. It changes its own temperature based off the way you sleep so that you get better sleep every single night. It is quite literally insane. Check them out. Andrew, how do they get it?
Yes, and before I do that, I wanted to let you guys know that you can actually set the bed to wake you up silently. I know that sounds weird, but actually the bed starts vibrating around your head, and it doesn't wake wake up the entire household the way my phone used to do back in the day. So now I just kind of have the bed wake me up silently, and it's amazing. You guys got to head over to 8sleep.com/power project. That's EIGHT sleep.com/power project. When you guys go there, you'll see a banner across the top saying that you're going to receive $150 off automatically. So again, that's 8sleep.com/power project to receive $150 off your Pod Pro cover or your Pod Pro cover and mattress combo. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes. Let's get back to the podcast.
Whoa. During a sprint?
It's a sprint. High school, remember?
High
it's
school.
like the
Okay.
Well, in the
football
beginning,
coaches,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
sprinting coach.
Well, in the
right?
beginning of the sprint, he probably wasn't because the start,
Right,
you
and then he
kind of
probably got
almost like
tired.
it's almost
Yeah.
impossible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but he was starting to change, and I was like, well, that's why he can't win if the second half of that 200 meters
Yeah.
he's doing a heel strike, right? So that goes back to contact time, right? Contact time, quick, get off of the ground. This is with anyone. This is professional athletes. This is if you're doing box jumps, if you're trying to be quick with your foot. Your foot has to be stiff and isometrically contracted. If your foot is insufficiently stiff, those vibrations come in. They start to stress the bone and the soft tissue. So someone wearing minimal shoes who cannot sufficiently stiffen their foot and the ankle is going to get plantar fasciitis or is going to be susceptible to it. A flat foot, which means nothing.
Yeah, I was
we
going to
can
ask
kind
you
of
about that.
We can
That's-
totally unpack that if you want.
Yes,
But
please.
a flatter foot, we'll just leave it there right now, and then you can unpack it or guide me on how you want to unpack that, is typically slower. It's just the time to stabilization of a overpronated or a flat foot is going to be slower. So it's going to take them a while to stiffen the foot as they're contacting the ground. So it's like they strike the ground, feel the vibration. The muscles are like, oh shit, right? They're trying to like stiffen and they don't have enough time.
Okay. So now with the plantar fasciitis specifically, what can people do to get rid of it over time? Are there tools? Are there things that they can do on the bottom of their feet? What can they do?
This is most of the patients I see.
Yeah.
So there are 4 things.
Okay.
And I feel like I've just had this like huge flurry of patients. So I've just been saying the same thing over and over.
Yeah. Why is this such a thing right now, do you think?
I don't know.
Plantar fasciitis, I don't think I've ever heard of it before.
Honestly, most of the patients
Maybe
that
2 years ago?
most of the patients that I see are saying, okay, I believe in this barefoot lifestyle, this minimal. I want to do it. I've had all these pains. So they like drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Right. And they're going down that route. And then they start to get hurt and they don't know. So they're a little like kind of flounging. So there's 4 things that you need to do. First one is you have to give the tissue a timeout. And this is where I just like, I tell people, just hear me out. I don't know your foot type again. Maybe for a short period, I'm going to put you in arch supports, right? And like, if some people are like, okay, I'm not going to listen to anything else that she says.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. But we need a timeout, right? Maybe it's a little cushion. Maybe it's a little stiffer shoe. Maybe it's a heel toe drop, whatever it is. And I'm talking like 2 weeks initially, right? You need to give the tissue a timeout. Second is you have to take away the stressors. You have to stop running. Okay. So if you're running, if you're doing ballistics, if you're jumping rope, whatever it is you're doing, you have to stop doing that. And this is again for the first 2 weeks that I tell patients. And then third is we want to do very targeted soft tissue release work that you're doing to the bottom of the foot and to the soleus, and you're going around the tissue. So kind of the foot and ankle structures, but not exactly where it's painful. So we're doing that. And then fourth, again, people have different kind of responses to it, but you have to do something for inflammation. Right? Some people don't believe in ice. There's books about how ice is ineffective. But right? So I will tell patient red light if you don't want to, right? Go do red light, do ice.
Some people don't believe in
do
red
cold
light,
plunge, right? Take an NSAID, like CBD. Like I don't know. I actually give a long list to patients, and I will say, listen, it's your body, your belief system. You could do systemic enzymes, which I love, red light therapy, whole body cryo, ICIT, NSAIDs, topical, CBD, I don't know, eat a bunch of pineapple. I don't know. Do whatever you want. But you
Get
have to
that inflammation down.
But you have to do these 4 things, right? And be really consistent every single day for 2 weeks. And then I'm going to assess you. That's really what they have to do.
Okay.
We're putting out the fire.
Good. Peeps, we love bringing you all this fitness information, and we also want to help bring that information to more people. So if you could help us out, hit that subscribe button, and then hit the notification bell, and we'll continue to bring you the heat. And I won't whisper in your ear. Talk to you guys later.